lovelies, this is Destiny Cushing with Vinspire. So this is my tutorial for how to do a wet set, comb out, brush out, whatever you want to call it, with a nice little bang swoop. And so this is the full look. It has a nice movement to it. I really think this is a very classic 1940s hairstyle. I have a beautiful vintage millinery hair flower from Chatter Blossom by Jamie Sturdivant. I will be showing you how to achieve this look. I did a wet set on my hair, so I had 1-inch rollers. These were just on the top, and you'll see the set in a second, but the special thing was I had curlettes on the bottom. So these were on the whole bottom half of my head and on the sides for me to sleep in because they're super comfortable. I usually actually do not do wet sets because I find them to be very uncomfortable. They take a little bit of time, but I've wanted to get into them more because you do get like 3, 4, maybe even 5 days out of the set if you're lucky, if you're good at it and tolerant of unwashed hair. So I love these. They are called curlettes. I'll be talking more about them. But Celeste Thomas gave me a set to review for her. And I have to say they come very highly recommended. I didn't have to do any touch-ups. A lot of times with the wet set I'll have to have a curling iron present to just kind of fix a curl here or there, but nothing budged at all. It was a perfect set. Made me very, very happy. I'll explain more how I did it right about now. So stay tuned. Okay, so some of the products I'm going to use include the Beauty and Pinup Fierce Extra Hold Spray, Aveda Air Control. I also will be using the Big Sexy Hair Powder Play. I set my hair all over with a mixture of 1/3 Lotta Body setting lotion and 2/3 water. I also might use a matte wax. Sometimes I'll use a pomade. It really just depends on the kind of look I'm going for. The Suavecita grooming spray. Some of the tools I'll be using are alligator clips and sectioning clips for molding and sectioning, teasing comb, both sides of it, and then just some various combs, such as maybe a metal rat tail comb. So I got these from like Sally's and places like that. And then these are the brushes I'll be using. So I like to use a detangling brush to initially go through the curls so it just doesn't cause any knots or anything like that. And then the smoothing brush and the Denman brush. This is the Denman brush copy made by Frank Griseri. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to do a wet set comb out to have your hair down and have a little bang swoop, but it is also a review for curlettes. Celeste Thomas gave me curlettes to try and review. So far, I slept in them wonderfully. They were very comfortable. Again, they're called curlettes. She hand crochets these, I believe, with 100% cotton. But you just wrap it around like a regular roller or rag curls. But they held so beautifully. I did wrap my hair in a scarf overnight. So I had this large scarf that I just put all over, so I can show you how I did that very quickly. You kind of look like a hot air balloon, but it's worth it for the set to stay well. So, because I've used curlers before and they've fallen right out. And when I do this, they don't. So I just pull it up, pull this little front part through, and then I'll tie this one time, making a big old turban to protect my curls. And then I will pull this back, kind of tuck this forward. I want to really protect these curls on the sides because you're going to sleep on them. Just do that, and then I'll tuck these babies into the sides. You can kind of see there's like a hole here. Tuck them into the holes. So this is how I looked last night. It may look silly, but it held my curls perfectly. So now we're going to do the comb out, or the brush out, whatever you like to call it. So now I'm going to start taking out the rollers. And I read this on Celeste's Facebook page after I did my set. Oops. But apparently you don't actually have to pull it all the way through, because that will apparently cause them to lose their shape faster. And they will hold just barely being in there. But so far the curls are pretty nice. So we're just going to take all of these out. Okay, so now you're going to want to tease all of this. I'm going to section it like I did before. So when I section, I tend to I go off my part, which is this side part, 90% of the time. And then I section at the crown. So this is going to be one deal from the ear to the part. And then I'll have another one. Similar deal in the front. And then I'll section from right above the ears to the top of my crown. And this is so I don't have to keep resectioning my entire head of hair every time I want to move on. So now I'm going to easily tease the bottom sections of this. So I'm going to take a handy dandy teasing brush and just kind of go to town. And I mostly just go underneath. Might do a little bit on top, but that's it. Let me tease the two sections together a little bit. But this is going to prolong your set and keep all your hair together and make it bigger. All things we want. So just so you know, I'm teasing this section a little more fully, like closer to the ends, because this is going to be the one that I twist and pin back, and I really want a tease there to kind of hold it in place. So now we're down to the final two curls. These are going to act as my bangs. So I'm going to do them slightly differently. These I am going to tease from bottom to top. Like these guys are just getting the full treatment. And I am going to use the powder play on them. So I love this stuff because it doesn't leave any residue. Unlike if you use a bunch of hairspray and sometimes it'll flake maybe. This doesn't, and you really don't have to use much. I just kind of pop it on there. Big Sexy Hairs is my favorite brand of texturizing powder. Aveda also has one. It's the Pure Abundance texturizing powder. There are a bunch of companies that have them. I just like Big Sexy Hairs the best, I think. That's what they're into, big sexy hair. Speaking of big sexy hair, what's up? All right, so now we have this mess. When you get to this point, trust me, it's going to be okay. These are my bangs before I tease them to hell. So I'm going to use a couple things to smooth these out. I'm going to start with the smoothing brush. I'm lightly brushing here. I'm really not digging in very hard because I don't want to take out that tease. Like, I put it there for a reason. If the bases are wanting to separate like that, you're going to want to tease it together. For this, I will use a little of the Aveda air control to kind of combine the two. So now you can't really tell where one curl starts and the other stops. We'll kind of tease them all together to make it one big thing. I will clip this hair away a little bit just so it's out of my way and I don't accidentally include it. The bangs. But okay, now I'm gonna try smoothing again. And you might have to repeat that a couple times. It just depends. Every single hairstyle is different. You're never gonna approach it the same way. But you know, there are a million ways to do these things, so do not fret. Okay. So now I'm wrapping it over my hand and just kind of shaping it to kind of give it the idea of doing a little bang swoop for me. A little something like that. Get the basic shape. See, like, that's pretty. Doing a little S shape for me. Thanks, hair. So at this point, I'm going to pin the bangs. I'm gonna just do a little whoop, and whoop. You gotta have the boop noises or it doesn't work. It's a secret trick, pro tip. This is just going to persuade my hair to stay up in this unnatural swoopy deal as I work through the rest of my hair. And as I finish this little bang swoop here. All right, so we got a good basic bang swoop here. We're gonna revisit it later, but you know, we have more things to deal with. So that's gonna hold that shape for me as I work with the rest of my hair. So the next order of business is going to be smoothing this back and pinning it. So I'm going to take my smoothing brush. I'm just going to smooth away. I'll just do a little twist. And then you can pin it right there. I did not mention these before, but basic blonde bobby pin. So I will take this squiggly side down. That's how it's supposed to be. That's the part that grips the hair. So if you've been doing it like this, stop doing it that way. So there are a million ways you can do this. I'm just going to stick it in there and go toward the twist. I'll usually stick 2 in there just in case. because typically when I do my hairstyles, I am swing dancing. That's what I learned vintage hair for. I started swing dancing and thought it would be a fun hobby, and then it became my career. Oops. So those are sticking up a little bit. That's okay because I'm gonna hide it with my hair, like so. So now we're going to start brushing. Yay! I'm going to start on the top. I'm actually going to smooth things down with my smoothing brush a bit on the top. And we're going to pin it with these lovelies. And then we'll continue to brush out the bottom. Just so you can see what I'm doing in the back here. I'm just brushing down. Okay. So now I'm going to start pinning to give me that nice 40s silhouette of having a nice flat top and then poofier on the bottom. The curlettes have held nicely so far. So now I'm going to start brushing this out. Actually, I'm going to start with my detangling brush. So that starts to make my hair do these pretty wave things. That's what I'm going for all over. So I've switched to what I call my smoothing brush now, just because the curls are pretty much broken up at this point. They are not in little ringlets anymore, which is nice. And now I'm trying to get them to be more of a soft, solid mass of waves and such, kind of like we have going here. And the key here is just keep brushing. You just brush and brush until it does something you like. I'm really just like messing with it at this point. This is where my Denman brush will come in handy if I really need to like combine things together. Also, if this happens to you, my thing came out a little, just grabbed another one. Okay, so I like how what this is doing. So I'm going to hairspray with my working hairspray because I'm not finished. And so I'm going to crisscross. I'm just pinning this down, like the end of this curl, pinning it under my hair here. You can see, and then I'm gonna hide it. And it's just gonna work into my hair. Unpin this. I'll probably put some bobby pins in there too. So I'm going to take my teasing brush here and I'm going to use it to kind of smooth things out a little bit. I'm going to use it instead of the smoothing brush because it can get up in there without ruining everything. And I can use the rat tail end of it to kind of incorporate that hair back into the curl. The barrel roll, or whatever you want to call it. This is my greatest and my worst asset. Such a perfectionist. But like I said, this is the part that people are going to notice, you know, like this is the first thing they see. Is your face. Hopefully. That's how I like it. I like people to look at my face before other things, you know, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Like my hairspray face, but my clients make that face too. I'm like, what? It's not going to kill you. And then I make that face. It's fine. Okay. I'm going to use a couple more little bobby pins. Come in from behind and crisscross that. Really working to hide the bobby pins. That's a huge indicator of if someone is more professional or not. It's if their bobby pins show. It's a huge pet peeve. Don't let your bobby pins show. Sorry, I'm starting to sound like a hair snob, but pet peeves. Okay. So, this is where we'll take a little bit of the hair wax and work it into the root area a little bit. Some flyaways. This is what you would do with pomade also, if you wanted. I just didn't feel like doing pomade today. I don't know why. Alright, so now I am going to take this guy, my Suavecita grooming spray. So that does a good job of taming flyaways and giving a nice finish overall. So I'm going to spray everything with it. One thing I love about this hairstyle is the way it moves. It's just like everything's together. So I'm going to just spray it all over with the firm holding hairspray from Beauty & Pin. That's called Fierce. Okay, so at this point I'm going to take out my little clips that have been in here, holding things in place. Because now my hair is all brushed out in such a way that it should pretty much hold together nicely without needing those clips. At this point I will spray again, because you can never have too much hairspray. And like I was hoping, the bobby pins are pretty much hidden from my little hoop here. But also another thing you can do to hide bobby pins or to just balance things out, or even if, I think this looks fine for sure, but I really love hair accessories, hair flowers. So I have this vintage millinery hair flower from Chatter Blossom. Jamie Sturdivant. That's her last name. She's a good friend of mine, and she makes the most gorgeous hair flowers in the world. I mean, she finds vintage millinery and makes these gorgeous pieces. This is just one, I believe it's 1950s vintage millinery that she made a hair flower out of. So there are a million ways you can do this, of course. I will try a bunch of different ways. So you could have it here. So it looks all nice, covers that separation. It's a little farther back, but it kind of balances things out a little bit. Or you can move it up a little bit. I'll usually place it about 3 times before I decide on something. Unless I put it in one time and I'm like, perfect, and I just want to go. You can also, without pinning it, try different things. So you can have it back here, blah, blah. I like this right now because I like what the leaves are doing and I like that it covers the hairline. It looks like it's just sitting kind of coolly doing its thing. This is where that tease comes in. It created a nice secure place for me to put my hair flower so that that's not going anywhere. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So that's how you do a wet set brush out, a little swoop or comb out. Everything is really secure. So, I mean, these things, like the sides and the curls, they can flow naturally. So I have a nice movement to my hair. But I don't want that pinned down, but this and this, that is all secure. It's not going anywhere. So that is my tutorial. This was a Vinspire hair tutorial. So that's the name of my company. I am Destiny Cushing. And thank you for watching. You should subscribe to my channel on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Vinspire.me. You can go to my website, which is Vinspire.me. That's Inspire with a V. Or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Vinspire Styling. So, yeah, and thank you for checking out my video, and I'll see you next time.